Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Davy.
And we're just two Asian women having candid conversations about whatever the hell we want to talk about with an intersectional flair.
That being said, today we're going to talk about our juicy college experiences. So get comfy and stick around.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Just Two Asian Women podcast. If you're new here, my name is Carolyn. I'm Laotian American, Gemini, born and raised in San Diego.
Hey everybody, my name is Davy. I'm from Long Beach. I'm an Aquarius, and I'm super excited to introduce our guest today, Selena, who is Carolyn's younger sister.
Unfortunately.
Hello. Oh, wow. I didn't think we were going to go there, but I mean, if you want to be like that, I'm fine with spitting it back. Anyway.
It literally doesn't.
I know. Sleep with one eye open tonight. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, my name's Selena. I'm Carolyn's sister. That's very unfortunate on my behalf, but I mean, it's whatever. I didn't decide. No, I'm partially kidding. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I am a Capricorn baby, but then I did my whole star map thing, but I'm not gonna go. You know, we can start with the top. Yeah.
Yes. So the topic is our college experience, and let's go around and just kind of tell people where and what we study or studied. So I went to San Diego State University, or SDSU, known as a party school, and I got my BS in psychology and my teaching credential, but we're going to be mostly talking about undergrad today.
Yes, definitely. And I went to community college for about 3 years, and then I transferred over to UCSD, or University of California, San Diego, and went there for 2 years, which was very, I hate that school. And, but I got my degree in ecology, actually.
After how many major switches?
It was only like, wait, let me,
okay.
On paper, one.
Okay. Mentally several. But yeah, I am currently finishing my undergrad at UCSD, so that's fun.
Is your experience like Carolyn's, or do you feel like good about it?
I feel like I don't like hate the school. Like I don't have, it's just like whatever to me, you know. But it's definitely, I don't want to say definitely living up to the stereotype of UC socially dead, but oh boy, is it difficult to make friends.
Oh my God, right? Like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with UCSD. I'm sorry, I do not like that place. I am traumatized and I still need to go to therapy. But
I don't like UCSD either, bitch, okay? Like, I'll tell you why. I got accepted. I went to Triton Day, right? Out of all days to like seduce freshmen into choosing that school. They had cheerleaders, the mascots, free popsicles, and I was like,
oh my God, I was literally thinking about that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't even like this school still. I was like, I'm not feeling it.
Something was very wrong with the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, that school, even my other friend who went there, like, let me tell you, I am not fucking awkward, and I'm not a fucking loser or incel or anything like that. Don't say anything, Selena. And I went there after like having the fucking time of my life in community college, and I'm all like, this is gonna be fine, right? No, it was not fine.
It was not fine.
And it is kind of hard to make friends there. I don't know why. All my other friends have had the same experiences. Like they went there and they're all like, why was it so hard to make friends there? And I was like, I don't fucking know. There's something in the water. I don't know. Anyway, I wish I went to SDSU, but it's fine.
I guess I can give why, like, I know from outsiders, like, what do you know, Davy? Like, you didn't even go there. Well, I did a summer internship there. And just from my first impressions, I was taking the bus back home, and I was asking somebody at the bus stop, I was like, hey, do you know if this bus stop goes to this main street? He turns around, looks at me and says, ask the bus driver. And I was like, damn.
Just say you don't know and leave it at that.
Yeah. So I wonder too, I mean, we can just guess, but like I also wonder, UCSD is fucking huge.
Yep.
I don't wonder if like the proximity has to do anything with it about being so difficult to make friends, but or just our own experiences. I don't know. But your friends have said the same thing too.
Yeah, and just to preface, this is not a statistical sample size. This is merely an observational recounting. But
observational study.
this is not. It's not even a study. It's just an observation.
Just trauma.
Not even. But I've already been through that, Selena, and you say you're doing fine. But I'm wondering for you, Selena, was your college experience like as it's happening right now? And I know it's very different because of COVID pandemic, but like, did you even have any type of expectation from high school about what college is?
I mean, I guess since it was more recently than you, I would say UCSD wasn't like really my first choice. Like,
really?
I kind of wanted to go to UW in Seattle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard that's a great school.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got accepted, but not for like the specific thing I wanted. So I got like undecided. So then dad was like, well, you're not going there. You didn't even get into a program. And I was just like, damn, all right. Like, I know we got family there. We could have stayed with, but whatever.
Right.
So I was kind of like forced to go to UCSD, and I low-key like expected to go because you're already going, and that's literally all that dad like would talk about. Like, he literally did not entertain any other school possibility.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, besides maybe San Diego State, but same thing to me when I was like 9 and below. I literally thought it was the same school.
It's okay, you were only 9.
Like the letters,
Yeah.
When I was 9, I was just thinking about crowns.
Oh
yeah,
and eating them.
Yep.
That's why you're an artist now. That's why you got your art powers. But yeah, it was kind of just like whatever to me, but I was hoping like that it would be like pretty fun, or I'd meet like at least a good amount of like new people like from different places. But I wasn't expecting it to be like freaking like party central or like, oh my god, so many friends, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then like actually going like the first year or two, it literally felt like high school still to me. Just like a lot bigger, and I don't talk to like people that I like, like
yeah,
I felt no different.
Okay, so you didn't have any expectations, which is great, because expectations lead to disappointments. Not saying that you should have low standards, but life is a balance. What?
No.
But well, I don't know. How do you feel, Davy? Like, you went to SDSU. I'm sure you had a great ass time.
I did.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah, it's funny. As I was going before I started attending the school, when I went on the tour, it wasn't even a tour actually, it was during summer, so nobody was even on campus. But the people who were so nice. Like, they were just so warm and helpful. I sneezed and somebody like 10 feet away was like, bless you. And I was like, thank you. But my experience was pretty good. I think it's different mainly because my freshman year I had to live in the dorms. Since you guys are local, technically you both didn't live in the dorms, right? For UCSC?
No. Yeah, we both commuted.
Right, for sure.
So different.
Oh, so yeah, it's so different for commuters, right? Because you don't have like a built-in community already. So for me, it was different because I lived in the dorms and I had like a group of 6 friends, and like we relied on each other because the first year of college is like awkward, like you're trying to figure out there's like how many 18-year-olds out here. I'm trying to figure out like where you belong. So I'm happy I had those friends. And then my sophomore year, I was a RA, residential advisor. So that even helped me make a lot more friends and feel connected to the campus. So, and I went to parties. I wasn't in a sorority, but it still like benefited from the parties,
Yeah.
And I worked a lot. I met lifelong friends there, and I really enjoyed studying psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. You know what's good about that is because what you said, you had people you could rely on. That's the good part, because in any situation in your life, you need a network of people to you just know that they're gonna be there for you. You know what I mean?
And I feel like that's what makes or breaks the college experience, because I felt like in seeing the dorms, being in it for a year, actually 2 years as a freshman and as an RA, the people who didn't quite make connections, a handful of them went back home because they're like, this is not worth it. I paid this much money and they don't feel connected. I feel really bad, but yeah, it's hard.
It is, and it's like this is not an episode about how to make friends. I feel like we already did that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did actually. But that, yeah, it is super important. And when you are living on campus, it is easier to do that because you live on campus. Like, how you would have to try really hard to not do that, in my opinion.
You would have to be a little antisocial to not make friends.
But I mean, I also do know people, again, observational, not study, just an observation. I also do know people who have lived on campus their entire time there because like they moved to that college and they still didn't come out with any friends, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but it happens.
That's tough. Yeah. What do you think about the quote, "You get what you put in"? Is that to a certain degree?
I think it is true to a certain degree, but because I feel like I'm a little biased because my college experience wasn't great. And I always make this joke when I tell people about my college experience that I actually had a net decrease in friends after college at UCSD. And I feel like it is true, but then also it isn't, because sometimes you could try like as hard as you can, but then everything's just working against you. So I don't want to victim blame anyone, I suppose. Like, I believe people are out there like truly trying their best and nothing is coming from it.
Selena, how's your first year been? Have you met any like decent friends or classmates?
Oh wait, what year are you in?
I'm about to finish soon.
Oh snap! Sorry. So is it your third year that you guys
it's my
online?
third year right now.
Oh yeah. How's your college experience been? Have you met some cool people?
I would say that I met some cool people, not like a lot of people, because like as someone who had to commute to school and like not live in the dorms or anything, like I did have to like put myself out there more than I would have preferred. Like a lot of times I just felt like annoying because I kept like messaging these people because like I don't see them in person a lot, so I just have to like keep texting them. And I was just like, damn, I'm like texting this person like every other day. Is that annoying? But like it was necessary to make a friend like in my circumstances. So I mean, it turned out. But like I would say that at UCSD specifically, like unless you know someone like kind of like either in your classes or like anywhere, like you just feel like you're alone. And like people kind of like fend for themselves sort of thing. And it's like it's kind of, I don't want to say like sad, but it's kind of just like it makes going to school like really just feel like, bro, I'm going to school, like I'm just going to school. Like I didn't really join like any clubs because I'm not like a club person. I did like check out a sorority because like what else am I supposed to do to make friends, like but like even that, it was just like, dang, I'm kind of like trying too hard and like it's not myself. So
I see.
That didn't like go through, and that would be weird if I went through with it. I feel like I would not be the same person.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've heard a lot of like people say like once they join a sorority, they kind of realize, well, it's not for me. Like, why am I? They don't feel like they're becoming themselves, you know? So it's cool that you stay true to yourself and you did try, but you're like, not for me.
And it's just like, even at like UCSD, it's kind of like, unless you want to be like lonely or antisocial, like then you like people say like you just have to join a club. And it's like, I don't want to have to like join a bunch of clubs to make friends. Like I'd rather not do that. Like I don't know.
I feel that
No better way to say it.
No, I feel that because like, I don't want it to be forced, you know? Like I tried joining this Asian clubs, I forgot the name. But I felt really out of place. I think like it's, all right, we're friends because we're Asian. Like maybe I was just in my head a lot, but I just was like, like what do I do with my hands? Like yeah.
It is kind of odd because when you go to like the first meeting of something, you just sit down in a chair and you're alone and you're just like looking around like, do I talk to people now? But then the meeting starts and then they just talk about stuff and then everyone leaves and maybe you get free food.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, do I talk to people now? And then you just go home. And you're like, now I have to take the late bus. This is annoying. Because all the meetings are at like 7 p.m. Literally so annoying. Oh, you didn't tell us what you're studying.
Oh yeah.
I'm a cognitive science major with a specialization in design and interaction, and I'm pursuing a minor in communications also. So that's fun.
Wow, she's a comm minor.
Yeah, just a little something on the side.
That's actually kind of cool. Wait, what do you like know what you want to do, or
like probably like UX UI designer or researcher, or like possibly something in marketing if I feel like it, because communications, but then also design and interaction plus like a little bit of psychology. So I feel like that's a good combination for some jobs.
That is good. That's where the schmuck's at.
Hopefully.
I hope so too. Let's manifest that.
That's also interesting. You said cognitive
science.
So like you're taking a deep dive into the brain and like how it functions.
Yeah, kind of like how people think, how people like, specifically for me, like how people interact with technology. Kind of like things that you don't really think about, like when you're looking at like a social media page, like why is this button in the middle? But it's because it's like the most like important feature of the things like that you don't really notice, but if it was like something different, you definitely notice.
Absolutely. Yeah, and how it functions. And I think that's actually, like you said about the job aspect of it, would be really good because design is so important, to just like, this is a little off topic, but what's it called, like prescription bottles, how the cylinder is so ineffective because you have to turn it around and we don't think about that. But then Target had like a rectangular prescription bottle that was dope. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, in one of my classes we actually like analyzed that instance a little bit, and how like the label on the prescription, it's like so small and so hard to read, and it's like really ineffective because like there's actually important info on there, like don't take more than 2 a day, but it's like freaking so hard to read.
Right.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Right. Make sure you eat it with food or else you will like
or else you die. Like,
I'm learning so much right now.
Design. Oh, cool. That's dope though. But yeah, like I think people underestimate design or overlook it. And it'd be really cool to see like you implement that.
Thanks. That'd be great for you.
Yeah, hopefully it pans out the way I want it to.
I think it will. Can we talk about how everyone shits on community college?
Yes.
Fucking bullshit. I mean, it's bullshit that people shit on community college. Community college is not bullshit. It's great. I love community college. Like, I had the fucking time of my life in community college. That's where I made literally all my friends.
Oh, yeah. CCs are looked down upon, I think, because like it's cheap and like people think, oh, people like who aren't smart go there, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, it's bullshit. And go ahead and tell them why it's bullshit, Carolyn. Like why your experience is so good.
Go off.
Well, it's like a really good place if you don't know exactly what you want to do, but you also don't want to spend, you also don't want to drop a couple grand on school. You could just go to community college, get your feet wet, put your finger in the pie, whatever other phrases there are that are the equivalent of that. And it's so inexpensive too. And I feel like people there, I mean, I guess other people who went to community college might have different experiences, but in my opinion, I felt like it was so much easier to kind of like navigate everything, so much easier to find resources, so much easier to like get to talk to somebody and have them point you in the right direction, in my opinion. And when I was there, like most people most people who go there who are around my age, because I went there right after high school, they went there and they wanted to transfer to a 4-year to get their bachelor's degree. So, after I did my thing at community college, it was fucking fantastic. I had like a great group of like faculty members who knew me, like literal friends who were there with me too. Finally got to go to UCSD and I'm like, this is it. This is like finally my time to get my bachelor's degree, and UCSD is all I've ever wanted to go to. I don't know why. Okay. I do not know why.
That's fine.
Because
dad's indoctrination.
Yeah. I guess so.
Society.
Actually, I also wanted to major in comp sci for a hot second.
But you couldn't handle the heat. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, it's literally true. I took one coding class, Java. And I was like, oh no, honey. But then I switched to human biology, and that's what I actually transferred to UCSD with. Went to UCSD, took a couple classes in human bio, and I'm all like, okay, no, this is so bad.
Thank you.
Anyway, I switched my major. It was cognitive science, but not like declared, but that's what I wanted to do. Then it was human bio. Then I had no idea what I wanted to do. I talked to my friend and she was all like, you like the environment, right? And I was like, oh, yes, I do. Mm-hmm. And then that's why I majored in ecology after that. Got to UCSD. I had really high expectations, which is like my problem. And I got there and it was shit. But I got my degree and then everything was fine after that. So
and then you just block that experience out of your memory.
Yes, I tried to. But I think community college is like a great place to start. Like, if you could get scholarships to go to 4-year, then okay, sure, fuck it. But if you don't, just go to your community college. Like, they have teachers.
You can get scholarships for community college and it'll be like free.
You literally can get, yeah, exactly.
Or make money.
Exactly.
Or make money from going.
Yeah, exactly. If like people qualify like for the lowest income or EFC, they get like 12,000 a year. So sometimes like they're making like I've made money going to school for SCSU because
hell yeah.
Yeah. It was great. But
good.
Yeah, I definitely recommend community college or junior college if you're from NorCal because first of all, it's super cheap, like Carolyn said, and actually California is trying to push the first 2 years of CC to be free. So that's a large push too. Like I was over the summer, I was a little quasi college advisor, basically helping the seniors who are graduating from the high schools working at to get into that grant. So that the first 2 years can be free. And a lot of them was like, yeah, I don't know what to do, or like I just can't afford it right now. And like it's I hope I like wish people didn't make CC like a stigma or like something to be embarrassed about,
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, like now, like at least for me, Carolyn and I have graduated. Like I still have the same job as somebody who went to UCLA. Okay. So
deadass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would say it sounds like Davy had a great time in college, and I love that for you. And I wish all of my minorities and BIPOC friends out there, and even the people I don't know who are BIPOCs and minorities, to have great experiences in college. Because why the fuck not,
Right, exactly. And it was a struggle, not gonna lie. I didn't talk about that. I came from a really diverse city, Long Beach, and my high school, Long Beach Poly, had so many different types of people. So actually going to San Diego, where they claimed it was diverse to their standards, was a culture shock to me because there's so many white people. And I was like,
oh no. The room is spinning and all you see are white faces. Oh my god.
They're all doing like the
oh my god. I was shocked. And like before I had issue with my colorism. I was ashamed to be darker Asian. But then my white friend, she was like, oh my god, Dobby, your skin is so, and I was like waiting for her to say dark, and I'm like, oh, I know. But then she's like, your skin is so tan. And I was like, okay, I like that.
I love that for you.
Yeah, so college was definitely formative, like in terms of like embracing my body, color, size, personality, etc.
Yes, that's good. And
Nice.
I would say for I don't know. To me, you sound like you're having a great time in college, Selena. You could tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
It's like all right.
Okay, a neutral
Yeah, like
experience.
it's pretty neutral.
Good.
I don't know.
That's fine. You don't have to know anything.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but honestly, like I forgot.
That's okay. If it comes back, let us know.
Oh, Selena, do you want to talk about how maybe like your transition from high school to college and like if you kept some friends or maybe like um how was that experience for you?
Uh-huh. I would say especially because like I'm a local, like I'm a commuter. I
Mhm.
definitely kept a lot of my high school friends. I would say like I'm really close with a lot of them,
Mhm.
which like I don't know. I feel like I've known those people like my whole life, so it's like kind of natural just to keep like knowing them and I like them, so like why not, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but I do like know a lot of people who are like when I do see them or like talk to them again since high school, they're like, yeah, I've just like really disconnected from a lot of people from high school, or they're like, oh, like I only talk to like you from high school or something like that. And I'm just like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like,
Mhm.
especially if you feel like you're not that type of person anymore, like if you've grown a lot since then.
Mhm.
Um, but honestly, like I've kind of been the same since then. So
For sure.
like it makes sense that I have the same group of friends. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. And then how has like college expectations? I know like going into college we have expectations. How
Mhm.
are you dealing with like expectations of like graduating 4 years, and all these other accomplishments?
Um, I mean, me personally, I'm like actually finishing a little bit earlier than like normal just because I took like a lot of classes in high school.
Nice.
But I have met like a lot of people who are like on their fifth year,
Mhm.
and like honestly, if like I could and was like financially like capable of doing it, like I wouldn't mind. And if I wasn't like freaking mentally drained from like all these classes, like I wouldn't mind taking like a fifth year because like those people, they're like, taking advantage of like all the actual resources of UCSD. Because when you're an undergrad, like focusing on your classes, you kind of like don't really do that a lot unless you like really want to tire yourself out. Like I would imagine it'd be like super hard trying to do like internship, like
Mhm.
really cool internships or like working and like doing like research and stuff while trying to finish your undergrad. But like every person I've met who's like a fifth year, they're doing like a bunch of cool stuff. And I'm just like, wow,
That's
like
dope.
I wish.
I like how you brought that up. Like it is like somewhat it is a privilege to like extend their college intern experience. And that you're
Mhm.
right. Like when people take 5 years, some people are like, oh my God, I'm taking so long. But at the same time, like 4 years is a lot of stuff to cram in.
Mhm.
And I feel like are there any classes you would like to take had you have more time?
Yeah, I mean, like UCSD has a lot of interesting classes if you like look into it. I took a couple of like dance classes just because I was like interested. And like because of that, I saw like that they had a bunch of like cool, like they had like set design classes like for plays and stuff, and like just a lot of like cool like niche things that don't really fit into like the core curriculum that you need for like graduating, that like they sound really interesting, which is why like I did decide to take up a communications minor because a lot of their topics were like really interesting to me, but they didn't like fit within the cognitive science major.
Mm.
But like there's a lot of cool classes and I would recommend like to anyone like take a couple, you know
Yes, I
like take
agree.
some fun classes for yourself.
Ooh, do we want to quickly talk about which fun classes we liked? Or some like classes that kind of
Me
like shaped
thinking really
us.
hard.
I know Carolyn's like
I can go
uh...
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, Davi.
Okay, cool. So I'll name two that just came to mind. The first one is sociology of minority relations. Was super transformative because I learned a lot about like um, dispelling stereotypes and just understanding intersectionality, such as like feminism, and like racism and stuff like that. So like I learned that's when I learned about the Asian model myth minority.
Mhm.
Um, And
Nice.
it was just so dope. And I was like, holy shit. Because our high school K through 12 history curriculum is so colonized. So finally having it decolonized, I was like, oh my God, I knew there was more to this. I fucking knew it.
I
Yeah.
fucking knew it.
Exactly. And oh, sorry, just a quick news plug. California high schools are required to teach minority history.
Good.
As they should.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been
coming.
kind of overdue. I don't want to learn about fucking laissez-faire anymore.
Yeah, we don't need like 10 units on like the Cold War. Just say it in like a
Right.
paragraph. We get
Right.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's fine.
I get it.
Especially like when you learn about the Cold War like every year for like
Yeah.
5 years. You're like, I get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the second class I took for fun, it was a psychology elective class. I didn't have to take it, was drugs and behavior. So fun. The professor was dope. And it was just like it's just like cool learning about the different types of drugs. And actually, in order to like get a society to do less drugs is through education. Right. So
That makes sense.
I'm like dope.
I like that.
Those were my top 2 favorite classes.
Ooh. Okay, Selena.
You need more time to think of one.
I was just gonna think of it on the spot. I don't think when I talk.
You don't think much.
No.
Anyway.
I don't.
Oh my gosh. Anyways. I would say I took one class my freshman year. It was actually one of my electives, but it was kind of like like unpacking like the taboo of curse words, like fuck, shit. And like, yeah, and my professor was super cool. Ben Bergen did like a lot of research on it. And we're just like learning about how like, like certain terms like didn't always used to be like a curse word, like the word dick, like it was like a common name, but now it's like you're not supposed to say it unless I don't know,
unless the appropriate situation arises.
Like so we were studying that, and that was super cool, and it was like a really really fun class, especially like you're 18 and you're like, yeah, I'm doing adulting things, I'm learning about curse words. No, the professor was like really cool. He was kind of like a nerdy white guy too, so it was like
that's even funnier.
Yeah. Like it was kind of cool. He's like Bill Gates equivalent, if you want to imagine a white guy.
Okay. I have a visual, thank you.
Yeah. And I said earlier, I took a couple of dance classes, which were really cool because otherwise I would not have exercised. So that was good for my health.
What are you talking about? UCSD is huge. Just kidding.
Yeah, every time I would go to a class, it'd be like a half-mile walk to my next class.
That would be the exercise.
I know, in like 10 minutes or less.
Yes.
Like you have to walk like a whole ass mile to get to your class.
Yep. And up a hill too.
I know, up a hill with like a bunch of people.
Yeah,
and like
going
bikes.
in the opposite direction.
And I'm like, oh my god. And there's a quiz like in the first like 5 minutes of class.
In the first 30 seconds of class.
Yeah. And then later on, this was like recently during like Zoom University, I took some more upper div communications classes, and one of them actually talked about like the decolonization of like knowledge and power, because it's like such a westernized perspective and like hella colonized, and how like the term modern is kind of like equated to colonization now, because of like the term modern was like created through a Western perspective.
I agree with
like
that.
What does modern mean? And usually people would like tell you with like terms of Western technology or like so that's cool. Yeah.
Those are like, oh yes. No, it's all good. I was just gonna say, it's like there's classes that make you expand your perspective. I mean, math is cool and stuff, but like these classes are classes that make you like think on your own experiences, and then by proxy expand perspective, as I just said. So I'll also kind of bring up a class that's very similar to that theme that we have going on. So I really love taking Asian American studies. I took 2 classes of basically that, and it was cool. Davi, I think you pretty much like summed it up when you were talking about your sociology and minorities class. I think is what it was called. But because of all the reasons that Davi mentioned, and it was like one of the first times I felt really like powerful and proud, to be quite honest.
Yes.
And then I would also bring up my ecology lab class because one of the like quarter-long projects that we had to do for that was to do a bug collection, and all the memories. Yeah, Selena actually helped me get some bugs for that collection. Like all the memories.
8 or 9 p.m. and you made me look for bugs.
We were looking for cockroaches, and I was like, it can't be that hard to find a motherfucking cockroach in here.
It was hard.
And we still didn't find one.
We found half a cockroach.
I was all like, maybe this is fine.
Did it have to be?
And it was so funny. No, but it had to be whole. Yeah. Anyway,
it was literally like half a cockroach.
But you know, just all those memories of like recruiting all my friends to be like, yo, I gotta look for bugs. You want to come with me in this one place? Keep an eye out. They're usually under rocks and shit. And it was just really fun. And I like that because I have a lot of really like positive memories associated with that one assignment. Like I remember being at my apartment, Tita would come home with a bug. He'd be like, look at this praying mantis I found for you. Aww. And I'm like, oh my God. Or my dad, I told everyone I was doing this, you know, because I didn't want to work too hard. My dad would be like, hey, I know you're collecting bugs. I found this grasshopper for you.
Like he's like literally holding the
yeah, I found this grasshopper.
You're like, oh my God, put it in a container.
Or like me and my friend Ariel would go around like looking for bugs in like different corners of the campus. We were just talking about it, but you know, me and Selena would be going around at night to find the creepy crawlies in the evening. And it was just great. It was really, really nice. And it was also a good way to interact with the other lab students as well, because if I found 2 of one type of insect, I would trade for something that they found.
Pokemon.
It was literally Pokemon. It was great. And I was so, okay, project. It was, yeah, if you ignore the fact that we were killing bugs, it was great. Because like, I remember Tito found me 2 praying mantises or 2 praying manti. And I'm like, I don't know how the hell you found those. But let me tell you, praying mantises were a high commodity item. So I was all like, I got a praying mantis. $20. I was like, I have a praying mantis. And they're all like, oh my God, I'll give you this bug and a butterfly, please. I need it. And I'm all like, fuck yeah. Or one time I found the secret spot for where the stick bugs were. And that was also a high commodity bug. And I was like, look, I caught a lot and I need some butterflies, but also if you want to find them yourself, they're in this area. I'm just saying. But yeah, I basically the class where I got to broaden my perspective, which was the ethnic studies class. And also the class where I basically just had fun.
Yes.
That's what that boy was down to.
That's awesome.
Dang, that's cool. That I don't know. I feel like right now I'm taking like classes that would be lab classes, but you know,
right. The panini, the global
panini, the Panera bread going on right now.
It's not going good.
I know.
Wait, what are you guys talking about?
The global panorama.
What is that?
The pantyhose,
the global Patrick Star. It's the pandemic.
Oh my gosh. I feel
getting more and more like
getting more P words.
I'm like, what's it called? I'm aging myself. I'm
no, it's fine. It's fine. That's just me about to explain the joke. I'm sorry to all my Gen Z people out there. It's just that because TikTok and YouTube demonetizes the word pandemic if you say it.
Yes, that's right.
Then you have to allude to it with another P word.
That's so silly.
I agree.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I was just like slow to get there.
That's okay.
But as everyone knows already, because we talked about it at the top of the episode, me and Davy already graduated from school. Me and Davy are interested in going back to school for masters. Don't know how that's going to turn out, but manifesting success.
Manifesting my masters.
Manifesting my masters. And Selena's about to graduate too. So college, let me just say this, y'all. If anybody's like struggling through college right now, it was a fucking struggle for me. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. It literally is the worst thing in the world. So college was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Okay. And let me just preface, now I am 25. I have an amazing fiance. I have 2 really good boys, my dogs, Mochi and Nopal. Here's one. And I have a really tolerable job that pays me money. Okay. I'm not gonna say it's great, okay? It's a great job. Everyone's it's a job. It's very nice. Everyone's very kind. There's really not much to complain about. But anyway, so everything in my life is honestly going great. Like, I have a podcast, I have a hobby, I have a sister, but that wasn't my choice. And
wasn't mine either.
And that was after going through like 2 years, and just 2 years of being at motherfucking UCSD. And look, if you love UCSD, I love that for you. Please keep doing that. But I hate UCSD. Anyway, just being 2 years just being 2 years at UCSD, like, I was fucking hating my life. I was fucking failing classes. I lost friends, talked to no one, living on my own at an apartment, not on campus. And I still turned out fine. Am I somewhat unstable? Potentially, but I am perfectly I am like perfectly fine right now. I'm making money and I got a degree, and that's all that really matters. That's all I really needed, to be quite honest.
For sure. And I guess the ducks,
we all have like
go ahead.
You can. Oh, I was just gonna say, I think we all have like varying levels of college experiences.
Yeah.
Like, hates it, is pretty neutral about it, really liked it.
Yeah,
really liked it.
Yeah, we do have a little spectrum going on.
Yes.
Yeah, and on the other spectrum, like to juxtapose Carolyn's college experience, I think mine had to do honestly with luck, but also like I'm sure Carolyn, you tried, right? You obviously did, but I think I had maybe more luck, I guess, or maybe just the school environment. We can blame it on UCSD. But
as I do, yes.
Yeah, so I had a really great time, and I didn't really need to be in a sorority to do so. I just had I'm kind of like introverted, ambivert, so I just had a really good set of friends, that I relied on, and like just got through college together. So, it doesn't have I guess what I wanted to tell people is like they don't have to have this super super social life to be happy during college and fulfilled. And yeah, my life's good too. Luckily I used my degree to get a credential to be a teacher, because you have to have your bachelor's. It doesn't matter what freaking it doesn't matter which major. So I just ended up choosing what I like to learn, and that worked out for me. So I have a full-time long-term sub position, pays me decent. I'll be looking for a full-time job soon with benefits, so it's all good.
That's good.
Your closing thoughts?
Yeah, and like, I don't know, I know that like technically I'm like doing the traditional track of like going to a 4-year and getting my degree to go into like something that I hopefully can be like successful in.
Love that.
But like, speaking about like college in general, like, I don't think it's like the thing you have to do in order to be successful. Like, I know people who like haven't really finished college yet, and like they already got like a good ass job. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Brendan. I mean, not Brendan, because my dad doesn't know. But anyways,
wait, what?
About Brendan or the job?
Yeah, he has a job like working at Sharp, like pharmacy, and like he didn't finish his degree yet, but he still has like a really good job, and he can go into like actual pharmacy because of it.
Right.
And like I know like when he was going through like school, he also went to UCSD, like he hated it too.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, and like I was telling him like the whole time, like maybe like school isn't for you. Like maybe you don't need to be here at UCSD like to do well, which is like all he kind of really wanted to do. He didn't like really care about what he was studying.
I don't know about that.
What?
I feel like I'm a little biased. I feel like people should go to college or pursue some type of higher education, technical school,
yeah, like that.
University, community college.
I meant like not like a 4, like you don't need to be at a 4-year.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe it's not like even just your time to go there. Like you don't have to go there when you're like 18 to 22.
Yeah, I said that too.
Like Tito, my fiance, he's like 31 right now. Sorry, I have to think about that. He's 31 right now, and he went back to school after taking a long year off because of multiple valid reasons. And I think he got his degree when he was like 28 or 29. And you know, when he was in college the first time, like when he was 18 and stuff, like it was cool, it was chill, but like he had a purpose and he was determined, and it was his time to be in college now when he came back to it in his late 20s.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of like think like half like Carolyn, half Selena. So I feel like everyone, if they can go to college, they should, because like studies show that people with a high school degree versus like a college degree, there's a big disparity on how much income they make. So just for people to get ahead and have more opportunities, yeah, I do. But do they necessarily need it? No, they can go to technical school, or some people are really lucky, like they become like a real estate agent and become successful. So it just really depends. I think as long as people have like grit and take initiative, generally fine. But yeah, just the study that shows you go make a lot more income with a college degree, I generally support it. Yeah.
Yes, scientifically speaking, you should go get a degree in something helpful,
right? If
and relevant,
yeah,
ideally. But you know, to everyone out there struggling, and of course to everyone out there living their best lives too, like keep doing that. To people struggling, don't keep doing that. I hope you get out of that struggle bus soon.
Keep struggling.
Sorry, the sentence structure was a little confusing, but I cleared it up. But thank you, Selena, for being here, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just here.
I think you provided some thoughtful opinions, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't really get like nice to each other like that, so I kind of like don't know what to do, but thanks.
Me being nice to Selena.
I know, I'm like shocked right now.
I'm observing them, and this is like an unnatural habitat for them.
Selena, going on? Her brain went into freeze mode. It triggered her flight and fight response.
Yeah. Like, will she attack me after this? Like, what's
But no, seriously, I appreciate that. That was really cool. Especially as someone like going through it right now, going through Zoom University right now. Like Davy and I, we're just spectators at this point.
Hey, you guys might get your masters.
Yeah,
yeah, true.
I might go back and do it. It'll be fine. I've never been good at school. You know, I know. Okay, I just want to say this real quick. I hate it when people like they don't know me and they're like, "Oh, you're so smart," and I'm like, "What was the last smart thing I did, huh? You can't answer me. You can't answer me."
It was never.
Like in high school, it'd be like, "Oh, but you're so smart," and I'm like, "Where? Where?
Where's the proof?
Where's the proof?"
Evidence. I have never seen Carolyn do anything. I'm smart.
Oh
Literally.
my gosh. I'm gonna like burp from all this like air I'm inhaling from laughing.
We're gonna wrap up today's podcast here. We want to hear from you. If you went to college, how was your college experience and the culture around college? You can message us at just2asianwoman@gmail.com. You can DM us on Instagram at just2asianwoman podcast, or you could comment on our YouTube at just2asianwoman.
And you can find our podcast on Spotify, Anchor FM, and YouTube.
And thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider sharing it with your friends, your family, your dogs, the birds outside, and your neighbors. That would be really awesome. And you'll hear from us again next week. Again, my name is Carolyn.
And I'm Davy.
And we're just two Asian women.
That was one.
Plus one.
Plus one.